There we go. We are recording. Welcome everyone to part 4 of Cultivating Collaboration in a Virtual Classroom. If you weren't able to join the last 3 sessions, that's totally fine. We did record them, so you can always go back and check them out. But today's kind of just the culminating, tie it all together and give a few more strategies for how you can collaborate in the classroom. And Karen, do you have anything you want to share? A lot of this was your idea, which I love. So.
Well, we're going to also show you just some ways that you can have your students collaborate, not necessarily using breakout rooms if you like Google Meet more and you're waiting for breakout rooms. But this is a way where you can be together in your Meet, but also split up and as the teacher be able to go in and check on student activity. So just some other ideas to get us working together, getting kids to communicate, even if it is by using comments and writing to each other, but to be in smaller groups.
Exactly. And like for elementary school, there's a lot of fear for us having students go into breakout rooms, the littles, and be able to not be seen or heard by the teacher when they're off in their different rooms. So I'm really excited for us to go through this today all together. What we're going to do, oh, go ahead, Stacey. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm so sorry. I was going to say, what a cute font.
I love it. Today, we're actually going to go into some collaborative groups. So we're going to share this link out in the chat in just a second. And we've only got a few in here today. So if you're watching later, you are welcome to come in and do this as well as you're watching. Since we only have a few, let's go into 2 groups, 1 or 2 groups. What would you, Karen and Stacey?
How many do we have? Yeah, maybe just 2 groups. Let's just do 2.
Let's go into 2 groups. So you're going to get this link and just put your name down for either group 1 or group 2. And then I'm going to pull the slides back up and we will go into activity 1. And activity 1 is a Jamboard. And you're going to answer this question on the Jamboard and you can respond to somebody else's response on there. And hopefully you all now have the updates to Jamboard, but if not, use sticky notes.
So I just put the spreadsheet in. Just go ahead and sign up for either group 1 or group 2. So this is a way for you to have your students group together.
Mm-hmm.
They can just sign up on a spreadsheet. Your activities can still be there. And you'll see that tonight we're going to be starting activity 1. We'll come back. We'll leave the spreadsheet. We'll come back to it. So it becomes like our anchor page of just what our lesson is.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And I'm going to move this over into my other screen so I can see it on here. All right, so once your name is there for your group, go into activity 1, and I'm going to start the timer for 5 minutes. And you will have 5 minutes to complete activity 1 with your group. Again, don't just do the activity and sit and wait. Do the activity and try to respond to others in your group. Ask questions and all of that through sticky notes or the typing feature. Sorry, if you're watching the timer at all, I was having to fix, it was too low and the thing kept popping up. I couldn't turn the sound off. So even though you all couldn't hear it, I could hear it. And it was going to drive me nuts. And then Joel, we see that in your car right now, which is totally fine. So we'll have some share out moments too. So that way you can hear that way and just kind of keep up that way. But please don't feel like you need to be texting and driving at all. Just join in where you can. My link keeps resetting. This is interesting.
I'm loving these new Jamboard tools. I just put a circle around, I am feeling tired and stressed. I'm like, and it's neat because you can put it to the back so it doesn't cover the great big circle.
Yes. No, it's nice. So Joel, if you can't see it right now, the question is, let's connect. How are you feeling today? And then it's choose one. Are you a plant, animal, or a machine, and why? And so just take a couple moments to think about if you could describe yourself today, what would you be? Change color.
Definitely agree with the Zoom one.
All right, I'm going to check out the other one. We're at about a minute left, so be sure to respond to each other's. And if it lowers my timer again, I'm going to question what's going on. It did. Every time I open something, it stops my timer. How interesting is that?
Oh, it's nice that somebody said I was feeling relieved Zoom was not down. It was down for all of my district today, this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's terrible. I would die if Zoom went down. It'd be impossible to do. Oh, man.
All right, let's take the next few minutes. I know we're still kind of working in the Jamboard, but if anyone wants to share out with how they are feeling today, which one they would be, I'll kind of bring it over here too so we can see the different ones. Are you feeling more like plant, animal, or machine, and why? So there's our first board, and here's our second one. Our second board had a lot more fun with the Jamboard features. And you can come off of mute if you want to share out. Jill said, feeling planty, grounded, actually taking a minute, parked by the beach. Oh, I'm really jealous.
I know.
That's a wise move.
I'm feeling like a machine, like this idea, like I'm on autopilot in a lot of ways because like my teacher instincts are kicking in. But I keep breaking down and like constantly going to different sources, like looking for some grease to kind of keep it going. Like, because I know that we have a job to do, but I know that like also like self-care is important in that. So that's, I don't know, struggling, but good, but good.
Oh, I like that, going to others to get the oil for your machine. I also said a plant, or not a plant, a machine. Today felt like it was just try to get through my to-do list and survive.
Yeah, your to-do list is like, that would terrify anybody. Oh my.
I have multiple.
Shannon, I just Googled up that automaton, because that's exactly the same thing. It's just like, just keep on going. Just don't stop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm laughing at group 2. I feel like I am in the jungle. I mean, yes. Yeah. So this is just one example of collaboration and how you could have your students stay in the same meet, but still sit there and respond to each other. Again, through Jamboard. So we've done Jamboard before in our other sessions, but just as a nice icebreaker and kind of a get to know you and see where everyone's at. Because right now, if I read each of these, I would say that our class is in a place of a lot of stress and probably anxiety and everything else. So we just need to keep it calm and cool and relaxed in here, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to actually dive now into part 2. So our activity 2. Karen, do you want to walk us through activity 2 and how we're going to do this one together?
Sure. As soon as I add my little Bitmoji and finish my Jamboard. Sorry, somebody asked me a question. I was responding. Yes. So activity 2 is we're going to go back, stay in your same group, and you're going to go back and you're going to click on the second activity, and that's going to take you kind of to wrap up what we've talked about in this mini series, a collaboration discussion. So what is the main reason that you create collaborative opportunities for your students? What do you want to accomplish with your collaboration? And how has this changed for you during distance learning? So what you're going to do in your group when you get there is you're going to answer or reflect. You're going to use the middle column. Our first, what are we giving, like 10 minutes? Is that what we said, Becky? But our first time for this activity, we'll look at the questions, and we'll use the middle column together with your group to do reflections on what the main reason is to collaborate. Has it changed for you during distance learning? What challenges have you faced when your students collaborate on a project? You know, what challenges has distance learning created? What successes have you had when you work with your students, and what are some other successes or things that are working really well? So you're going to be focusing just on that reflection column right now. You're not going to put anything in the supports column. That's going to come a little bit later. So when you click on this activity, you're just going to open it up and you can start to look at the questions and just use the reflection.
All right, so hop into that activity 2, and we'll be chatting on the side. Again, there's not a lot of talking that's going to happen in the meet because we're showing how you can, let me pull this up, how you can have your students in like breakout type of rooms in a meet.
But please use the comments to talk to each other. If you want to reach out to somebody in your group or you want to ask them about what they put, we will be in there using the comments to kind of guide you as well, modeling what you would be doing with your students. 5 minutes. Oh, that's a cute little timer. Oh, 10 minutes. You're muted.
Yeah, it is 10. We won't have time to do the full 10, so maybe we just do 2 5-minute ones. Okay, I've got to move our timers up. I can't push the mute on them. So here we go. Oh, and it's already muted. Perfect.
Oh, I can't stand it. The little sleeping lizard is too cute.
Hello, we have someone new who just joined us. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. And right now we are if you go into the document in the chat, we are in activity 2. So you can click on that and then just choose one of the groups and go into activity 2. And we're just sharing how reflections for collaboration. And so you can see what everyone else has already posted, and then just go in and add your comments in here as well. Thank you so much for joining us too.
Yay, welcome, Margot.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome.
I am seriously loving all the notes that you're sharing in here, and there's a few comments. Feel free to continue to comment on each other's responses. And what I also am really enjoying is that we're all pretty anonymous in here. So we've got like anonymous badger and alligator and all of that. So that's fun. You are welcome to put your name with it. But we are going to go now into the next part, which is the supports. Karen, do you want to share a little bit about the supports?
Sure. If you so look at the reflections, and if you have an idea or comment that you want to make to the person that put the reflection, or just a way to maybe solve their issue, or a tip, or something that worked for you in a similar situation, go ahead and use the supports for that. Is there something that you could offer that will help with their reflection on how things went for them? And you can do that on the side with comments too. Becky is right. We have some great questions and comments going. So feel free to look at those as well and see, this is the time where we would want to communicate as much as possible in this environment where we're not, seeing each other, but we have the ability to write to each other and to just help each other through. So if you want to take some time, I think we'll put the timer back on. And Becky, I would be staring at the little kitties in the timer and not doing any work if I was in class looking at that.
You get used to it. I use the same ones over and over. They become super boring after a few rounds.
Oh, that lizard was killing me.
I had to click away. So anyway, go ahead and look in, see what it is. Like if there's some things that have changed for distance learning or some challenges, maybe you have a great idea to help somebody overcome one of their challenges.
that is time. So this actually went super fast, which I'm sure we could go on and on and on. I really like this activity because one of the biggest things that comes up for teachers in my district is like, okay, we get the collaboration when we're in a meet, we're getting that component of it, but like, how do I do it when I'm not in a meet with them? I want them to still have that collaborative opportunity. And there's no reason your students couldn't be doing this in some type of doc. And I'm pointing to my other screen as if you all know that I'm pointing to the sheet that you're on. But why couldn't they do that? Assign it to a group and they're all sitting there working together and commenting together without having to be on a meet at all. So super doable. Or they could be in a meet with you. And if they need to share, they would just come off of mute. But both of those are options. I know I've heard from a few teachers saying, you know, my students are commenting, but I'm not there and it kind of worries me. Can I turn that off? Well, if we turn it off, we're actually turning off any and all opportunities for them to collaborate. And also Google Classroom doesn't let you turn off those comments to each other. So this is just a nice way that you're opening up that door for them and knowing that in Docs, you can see the version history. So you can see everything that's been put in there. So thank you, Karen, for putting that together.
Awesome. You can have like a chat monitor as well. Like we all have that student in our class that we can trust with that. And we can make that a job and build community and have somebody who's just looking at the chat and, you know, letting you know what's going on, just to give them a piece of what's happening in the.
Yeah, and I like leaving the chat. And I was talking to my principal today, and I said I don't have a problem with that. The students know we're keeping the chat so that we have access to what their questions are, and they know they have to. It's the good digital citizenship, and I've got middle schoolers, so it's fun to watch them be able to visit with each other if they're social.
Agreed.
Yeah, and
all right.
I have a teacher in high school who's 9th grade teaching, you know, positive feedback by giving them word banks and sentence structure. That's what they need to focus on until she feels more comfortable allowing them to go. So you can think of that too. You can structure it and really train them on what that looks like and what your expectation is.
Agreed. I love that. I actually really like the idea of having that comment bank and sentence structures, all of that. That's really cool. If you could share that, Karen, or if you have any examples, I would gladly share that out in my district. We are coming towards the end of our time. So if you could open up activity 3. And activity 3 is just a feedback form. Just give us some feedback. If this was the first session of the mini series that you were able to attend, that's totally fine. Please still fill out the feedback. If you've been able to attend all 4 sessions, let us know how they went. If you want to continue to see this type of format in the future with mini series. And then while you're doing that, we do have some upcoming events, which I'm pretty excited about. And one of them is September 2nd is our SoCal monthly meetup.
Yes, and we have a guest speaker, Ralph Krause. He's from Edutainment, and he has a website organization that matches teachers to guest speakers for free. So if he doesn't have somebody on his list that you want, you can email him and say, hey, I teach this and I'm looking for this, and he will find you somebody. He's an incredibly energetic guy. He loves what he does. You will really love talking with him and listening. He's awesome.
Yes, I'm excited for that one. And then also on September 5th is the first day of our Twitter chat. So if you are reading the Distance Learning Playbook or you're interested in reading it, which I strongly recommend, I'm on module 4 right now and seriously just loving every bit of this book. We are doing a Twitter chat. And so one of our members is actually helping to moderate that Twitter chat. So definitely join us starting September 5th, and it'll be every Tuesday in the month of September. And finally, we have our town hall on September, I want to say the 16th. It's on a Wednesday. So if the 16th is a Wednesday, it's that day. And you'll be getting more information about that through our Twitter and through our group. I sent an email a few days ago. But that's actually in conjunction with Google. They're joining. They selected our region as one of the regions that they wanted to do this collaborative town hall. They just want to hear from us on their tools and what's working and what they could improve. And they just want any and all feedback. So they're going to be a fly on the wall. They're not going to share anything. So join us for that as well. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And we are only over by 1 minute.
Yay, good timing. Good job.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, everybody.